Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
The single best idea, I'm going to be quick here. Everyone here exhausted by 24/7 trying to fit in the guests in a quiet December, and literally the 14 stories that are out there. Of course, in this tri-state area with the leadership of John Tucker and Michael Barr, we're covering this terrible shooting at the Hilton Hotel. But far more, it is international relations. What we saw in France, Francine Lacroix's conversation today with Marine Le Pen, and of course in Korea as well. We've been focused on France, but here on North and South Korea and our president-elect, Richard Haass.
Look, the South Korean relationship with President Donald Trump was one of the worst relations between an American ally and the United States. The president really pushed hard about why wasn't South Korea doing more to pay for U.S. troops there, concerns about the trade imbalance and so forth. So much, and by the way, and threatened to pull U.S. forces out of South Korea. So if he were to once again ratchet up the pressure, I think the most likely reaction would be that South Korea would think very seriously indeed about developing nuclear weapons of its own if it came to lose faith in the United States. And that's the sort of thing that, among other things, could cause a real crisis with China. So there's a lot of potential dynamics here.
Over the holiday season, you got the kids at home, and they're just like being mouthy or whatever as kids can be. Throw them, don't hit them in the head, but throw a Richard Haass book at them. Go out to Amazon and look for Richard Haass, Haass, and he's got some wonderful, short, readable books on America and on our civics. Can't say enough about those. We had too many names to pick today. Wendy Schiller was just brilliant on a fractured U.S. Senate, what we're seeing within the transition from Biden to Trump. But just as interesting, from Canada, David Rosenberg joined us. And this is important. He's been very cautious over the years, and there was a bullish tinge and optimism to David Rosenberg. His call on the market.
I'm still concerned over market positioning, and sentiment is off the charts, and I am expecting a near-term correction. The question is what you do if we get the dip. And I think that you'd want to buy the dip. And I say that because I've been calling this a bubble for a while, but it's maybe a bubble if you look at trailing P multiples or one-year forward P multiples. But if, in fact, we've had an inflection point on the technology curve, if we've had a model shift when it comes to what AI is going to deliver in terms of future profitability and productivity, I'm thinking that the market is sending you a message that that investors have basically lengthened their time horizons. So all the classic valuation metrics that I've been using, I'm not going to say they're obsolete, but they're probably just not relevant to today's backdrop.
Right. David Rosenberg of Rosenberg Research, and again, an optimistic tone about growth and what's out there. He does maintain a disinflationary tendency. We maintain that we're part of your American commute. Thank you so much for that with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, with SiriusXM Channel 121. Good morning, 99.1 FM in Washington, up to Boston, 92.9 FM. And, of course, our new experiment, please go to YouTube, subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast. Thunderstruck by the international reach of YouTube. On YouTube Podcasts, it's single best idea.